The Indian rupee is slipping, and the speed of the fall is beginning to worry economists, businesses, and ordinary people alike. Just a year ago, $1 cost around rupees 85. Today, the rupee is moving dangerously close to the levels few expected this quickly, and the impact is everywhere. Petrol becomes expensive, imported electronics cost more, foreign education becomes harder to afford, and even inflation begins rising across the economy. But here is the real question. Why is this Indian rupee falling so sharply when some other Asian currencies are stable or even gaining strength? And in order to understand this, we first need to understand that how currencies actually work. Well, let us understand first that how does a currency gain or lose value? A currency works like any other product in a market. If demand for it rises, its value rises. If demand falls, its value declines. Currencies are traded every second in the global foreign exchange market by banks, investors, governments, and companies. And among all the currencies, one dominates the world. That is the US dollar. But why? Because most international trade happens in dollars. Oil is purchased in dollars, countries store dollar reserves for safety, investors trust the dollar during uncertain times. So whenever demand for dollars rises globally, currencies like the rupee automatically come under pressure. And right now, that pressure is really intense. Well, India's oil dependence is hurting the rupee. One of the biggest reasons behind the falling rupee is India's dependence on imported oil. India imports more than 80% of its crude oil requirements, and every payment is made in US dollars. Now imagine what happens when oil prices rise globally. India suddenly needs billions of extra dollars just to buy the same quantity of oil. And this increases demand for dollars inside the country and weakens the rupee further. And it becomes a cycle. Oil prices rise, India spends more dollars, demand for dollars increases, and rupee weakens. Imports become even more expensive, and since fuel affects transportation, manufacturing, and daily goods, the impact spreads across the entire economy. Foreign investors are pulling money out. Another major reason is foreign investment outflows, as for years, global investors poured money into India because it was seen as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. But now, many investors are moving money out of Indian markets and shifting towards safer destinations like the United States of America. And here is why this matters. When foreign investors leave India, they sell Indian assets and convert rupees into dollars before taking the money out. And that creates massive demand for dollars and weakens the rupee. And this is why stock market declines and rupee depreciation often happen together. India imports more than it exports is also one of the biggest issues. Notably, there is also a deeper structural issue, as India buys far more from the world than it sells, as the country imports crude oil, electronics, machinery, gold, advanced technology equipment, but many Indian exports still come from lower margin sectors, that is compared to the countries like China, and this creates a trade deficit. Well, in simple terms, more dollars leave India than enter India. And when a country continuously spends more foreign currency, then it earns its own currency naturally weakens over the time. Fear and speculation are making it worse. Currency markets are driven not only by economics but also by expectations, and when traders believe that the rupee will fall further, they begin reacting to that belief. Exporters delay bringing dollars back into India because they expect better exchange rates late. Importers rush to buy dollars before the rupee weakens further, and this creates panic demand for dollars, and once fear enters financial markets, currency declines can accelerate very quickly. Notably, the US dollar is becoming stronger worldwide. As the rupee is not falling alone, the US dollar itself has become stronger globally because investors see America as a safer financial destination during the uncertain times. Wars, geopolitical tensions, and unstable global markets have pushed investors towards dollar assets. So even strong economies are facing currency pressure. But countries like India feel that pressure more strongly because they depend heavily on imports and foreign capital. And amidst all this, what is RBI doing? The Reserve Bank of India is trying to slow the fall, and whenever the rupee weakens too rapidly, RBI sells dollars from India's foreign exchange reserves, and this increases the supply of dollars and temporarily supports the rupee. You can think of RBI as a shock absorber, and it cannot permanently stop market forces, but it can reduce panic and prevent extreme volatility. Well, the falling rupee is not just a currency story, it reflects deeper realities about India's economy. As dependence on imported oil, rising global uncertainty, trade imbalance, foreign investor behavior, and the growing strength of the US dollar. The long-term solution is not temporary intervention. India needs stronger manufacturing, better exports, more innovation, and reduced dependence on imports. Because in the end, our country's currency becomes strong when the world wants what that country produces. And that is the real challenge India must solve in the years ahead. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.